With very slippery yawns, I suggest you wrap a piece of paper around the yawn cylinder to keep the ball from collapsing when you remove it. Put a piece of tape on it to keep the paper from falling off, and then slide it down so it's snug. Start winding by putting the end of the yawn in the slot. Go through the loop first naturally, and then start the ball about halfway down. This way the ball can grow in both directions as you're winding. Alright, continue winding and you'll see the winder is producing a nice even ball. And that's what you're looking for. Right, just keep on going and you'll see that the yawn ball is forming nicely. Alright, one other thing to remember is hold the yawn within the yawn guide at the same position. Don't wiggle the yawn up and down side to side. Hold it in one place. Okay, you can see that by loosening, by lessening the amount of tension, the slippery yawn just fell off the ball. So watch how it's put back on. What you're doing is you find a spot where you can slip it back underneath the ball, where my finger is showing. Pull on the yawn a little bit so it sort of locks onto the surface of the ball. Hold some tension and start winding again. Yawns are very, or the balls are very tension sensitive. I tend to run the yawn through my thumb and index finger, and I have my middle finger also supporting the yawn. So keep on winding. As long as your tension is proper and you're not going too fast, your ball will form perfectly. And what you need to do is just watch it. You'll learn very quickly if the yawn, and you'll be able to feel if the yawn slips off the ball. All right, just keep winding away. And you can keep going faster and faster if you feel comfortable. Again, if the yawn slips off because you've loosened up the tension, you'll know it right away. And here you can see what you're looking for as you're winding. You can see how the yawn is crisscrossing across the surface of the ball, not slipping off. Alright, continue on your merry way, winding the ball, and eventually you'll see it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And here we're almost to the end of the amount of yawn that I have to wind. And you'll see how we remove it. Just take the piece that's tighten it around the outside of the ball. Make sure that the center section slips out. Don't lose the yawn that's up on top, which is your center pull ball. All right, here we're gonna do it. We'll show you again on a different ball that was wound. You'll see we pull it off. The paper comes with it. Make sure that you don't lose the portion that you're going to pull out of the center of the ball. All right, stick the paper in. Make sure that your tab is the yawn is out, so you can pull the ball. You can see, and it'll pull right out. You do not have to remove the piece of paper. If you're winding traditional wool, which tends not to slip, the ball will not collapse on itself. So you really don't need the paper insert. We're winding a merino and silk yawn, so you need the paper core. If you feel comfortable, you can increase your winding speed. I stop and I look at it and make sure that the ball is forming uniformly with a nice crisscross pattern. Now I'm going to increase the speed, and you can see we're still winding a nice ball. Further on this video, I'll show you what happens if when I just let go of the tension. Alright, now the yarn didn't slip off yet, but your crisscross pattern got wider, which means there might be a tendency for it to slip. This particular yarn didn't do it. Alright. Each type of yarn is very sensitive to tension and speed. But it's important to understand that you can really wind any ball you want on the Strauch Winder. It's a matter of your particular technique. Now here, show you an example again. I deliberately let go of the tension to have the winder, or have the yarn slip. And what I'm doing is finding a spot where the yarn can grab onto the ball surface. And what I mean by grab on, you're actually going to hold tighter so that the yarn is almost digging into the ball, and then loosen it up a little bit as you continue to wind. And now I'm going at a fairly decent clip, and you can see the ball is forming perfectly. Nothing on top, nothing on the bottom. Now, I deliberately let go of the tension, and look what happened. So when that happens, don't panic, just stop. Pull off whatever yarn you need to get off in order to get to the bottom of the winder like that. That's what you want to do, and you're going to pull it so it's snug and keep on winding. Now, I deliberately let go of the tensions to show that effect. Alright, continue to pull yarn off until you find a spot that's on the bottom of the ball where the yarn can re-grab. Right there. And start winding again. And as long as you hold that tension, and again, it's going to be a wee bit of a learning curve, how much is too much and how much is not enough. The proof in the pudding is as long as you're forming a perfect ball, you're doing it correctly. Alright, keep on going. Wind away, and I'm going to increase the speed. Now, I'm going to just showing you what the tension looks like. You got a fairly good pull on it. You don't want to pull so much that you either pull the yarn off of the ball, or you actually bend the red support bracket to such a amount that the winder stops functioning. Okay, now we're almost at the end of the wind. You can see how nice that ball is formed, and all I did was just hold a fair amount of tension on it, and that's it. And to remove the ball, take the end of that, the end of the where you would center pull. Make sure you don't lose it when you pull the ball off. You're going to pull the ball off along with the paper, and you can see the paper there, and the center pull ball is right. The center pull of the yarn is right there. I stick it in the paper so I don't lose it, and that one's done. Voila, finished.